Okay, let's dive into the complex world map shaped by the global copyright wars.
Conflicts don't just create history, they literally draw the maps of the future.
And this explainer is going to fill in that map, starting with the dominant power that emerged.
It all really begins with PUPR, a corporate entity that basically grew into a global superpower.
But you probably know them as the Quants, a name that points to their revolutionary technology.
And what's really interesting is how they built their whole empire on these three pillars. Their reach is just immense, covering former nations and turning them into controlled states. So, in response to PUPR's expansion, the rest of the world forged some powerful military pacts.
First up is SAGDA, controlling huge territories in South America and Sub-Saharan Africa.
Allied with them is NUFTA, a whole other power block with its own unique military expertise.
And this really shows their strategies. SAGDA fights online, while NAFTA owns the electromagnetic spectrum.
Now let's move to the faction that tried to stay out of the fight entirely.
The NNT, which used to be EU-NATO, publicly stressed its neutrality to avoid getting dragged in.
But behind the scenes, they were secretly providing support and even soldiers to the SAGDA alliance.
So the crucial thing to remember is that other conflicts were raging at the same time.
New Zion is a fierce independence movement, fighting a really personal and almost mythical struggle.
Which brings us to the final key player who isn't even on the planet anymore.
Those similar names are no coincidence, but they represent two sides of a very bitter conflict.
Yeah, New Babylon fled the chaos of the war, establishing a pretty basic colony on Mars.
They may be gone, but their influence remains, and believe me, they are far from defeated.
And this is the state of the world, just a patchwork of powers locked in a fragile stalemate.
Which leaves us with the final, kind of unsettling thought about the future of this divided planet.